I think it goes without saying for this video and this stream, trigger warning. These are real stories involving real people, so you've been warned. Very interesting, but very eek. That's the best sound I can make for it, so you've been warned. Spooktober is here, and to celebrate, we're watching spooky shit. The first video we are watching, lads. I don't know if you guys have seen this. There's something about Casey. You guys seen this video? Let's just jump right into it, eh?
Most of you will already be aware of who 2-year-old Caylee Anthony was. The majority will know that she sadly passed away at some point between 1 p.m. and 8 p.m. on June 16th, 2008.
We're gonna strap ourselves in, man.
Undoubtedly the most
This is
heartbreaking
gonna be
part of this story, and we only need a
crazy
single
video.
word to epitomize her short life. Tragic. But the primary subject of this video is not about the life nor the death of Caylee Marie Anthony. It is in fact about the psychological constitution of her mother,
looks like a psycho,
22-year-old Caylee Marie Anthony. So rather than tragic, you'll find the words disturbing and perplexing to be far better suited to the theme of this video. One of the many reasons this case is exceptional is how the present day's topic of discussion has little to do with
Oh man, I'm fucking scared.
But in fact, the subsequent developments that followed. People are
I know
no
nothing
longer
about this
talking
video
about
as well.
how or even why Caylee Anthony passed away. They are instead talking about the manner in which a mother responded to her daughter's death. Given all the acquired information we now have, even if we afford this person the most morally acceptable possibility of what occurred, her manner of conduct was still unimaginably cold-blooded. This is driven home. Man,
I don't even want to know what the hell this woman did.
Clinical psychologists during her time in custody, and not a single abnormality was discovered with relation to her psychological state. In other words, there were no signs of mental illness whatsoever. And this makes the character study of Caylee Anthony just as fascinating as it is terrifying. A human being's state of mind is something most accurately assessed with the full capacity of hindsight. So before we evaluate our first segment of raw footage, here's a quick rundown of each of the essential moments that will give you a broader understanding of what we're actually dealing with.
What's up? That's just not the right moment to do that, bro.
Orlando police received a call from Cindy Anthony, the grandmother of the victim.
How you doing, man?
911, what's your emergency? I called a little bit ago, the deputy sheriff. I found out my granddaughter has been taken. She has been missing for a month.
Okay, so this grandmother is calling about her missing daughter.
Finally admitted that the baby's in the store. I need to find her. Your daughter, the baby is where?
Not going to be a pause, Andy.
A month ago, my daughter's been looking for. I told you my daughter was missing for a month. I found her today, but I can't find my granddaughter. She just admitted to me that she's been trying to find her herself.
Okay. So the daughter said that she's trying to find her baby.
Okay, what is the 3-year-old's name? Caylee.
This is a disturbing call, man.
Caylee Anthony? Yes. How long has she been missing for? I have not seen her since...
Oh, dude.
Is your daughter there?
Yes. 7th of June.
They want to talk to you. What's going on a little bit? I'm sorry? Can you tell me a little bit what's going on?
So this is the daughter. This is Caylee Anthony is who the video's about. Caylee Anthony is who the video's about.
I know who has her. I tried to contact her. I actually received a phone call today. Now from a number that is no longer in service. I did get to speak to my daughter.
Okay, so she's saying that she spoke to the nanny,
Do you have a name?
who says that she has her daughter. Wait, what the fuck?
To give some context
So I
to
don't
this bizarre phone
never
call,
called the cops.
Caylee
Yeah,
Anthony
so
had left the
Casey's a
family
bit
home
yes,
with her
Casey's a
daughter
bit
month
sus.
earlier, stating that she had a work
A
assignment
month
in
earlier.
Tampa and would be traveling the entire time. Caylee's grandparents would ask
So this is her
repeatedly over the
grandparents.
following month to see.
She's
or at
this
least
woman's the one
speak
who
to her
called the
granddaughter.
cops.
But Casey claimed each and every time that she was too busy with work and that Caylee was with a nanny who went by the name Zenaida Fernandez Gonzalez or
Zenaida,
Zanny for
what a
short.
weird
On July
name,
15th,
Zenaida
exactly
Fernandez
6 weeks
Gonzalez.
after Caylee was last seen by
Sounds
her
kind of made up.
grandparents, George Anthony received a phone call that the family car
Zenaida
was at the impound lot. This immediately
Gonzalez.
alerted suspicion,
I've already
as it was
forgotten
the
it.
same car Casey had supposedly been traveling with for work. Suspicion turned into panic once they picked up the vehicle, and George discovered a strong odor emanating from the trunk.
Hold on, I missed that. So they found a car that Casey was supposedly in, and it smelled. Okay. Ugh, that's a bit fucked. Zendala Taco Rodriguez. No need to thank
He
me.
recognized from his years as a
Yeah,
police
that's it. That's
officer
confirmed
and
now.
found
That's her name.
comparable to that of human decomposition. Through contacting one of
Yeah, it
Casey's
smelled like
friends,
human
her parents
decomposition.
managed to track her down at her boyfriend's house in Orlando, where they
So
were
she's
found
with her
smoking
boyfriend.
marijuana and watching TV. When inquired over the whereabouts of her daughter, Casey stated that she had been kidnapped 31 days before by the supposed
31
babysitter.
days
It was at that
before.
moment Cindy Anthony called 911.
Are you fucking serious? What a nut job.
Who has her? Do you have a
So,
name?
so that's when this call
Her name
happened.
is Zenaida Fernandez Gonzalez.
Zenaida Fernandez
Who is that?
Gonzalez.
Babysitter? She's been my nanny for a
Ooh.
year and a half, almost 2 years. Why are you calling now? Why didn't you call 31 days
Exactly. Why didn't she call 31
I've been
days ago?
looking for her and have gone through other resources to try
Oh my
to
god,
find her,
dude.
which was stupid.
She's gone through other resources.
The officers are there?
The fuck does that even mean?
Now let's indulge in the world of fantasy for just a moment and pretend all of what Casey had just stated was true. She had indeed
Let's
been
pretend,
working,
huh?
and her daughter was in fact kidnapped by the babysitter a month earlier. The immediate premise most would gather would be that Casey had no regard for her daughter whatsoever. In the
Absolutely.
911 call, than her volunteering information, which most parents would do in a frantic manner, it had to be acquired by the dispatcher through repeated
Yeah,
inquisition.
that's the other thing. Like the Casey was like not giving information. She's just kind of reacting, you know what I mean? She's not being proactive. No,
All
facts.
you
I
have to
should have
do
known.
is compare Casey's dialogue to that of her mother's in the same phone call. One was indifferent, while the other was distraught.
Indifferent, that's the
Police
word
would
for
have
it.
picked up on this immediately.
That's the
Even
word.
without the bizarre phone call,
Even
the
like-
circumstances alone would
even
make Casey
us
the prime
three, right?
suspect in her
Like, we
daughter's
know, like,
disappearance. She was
it's
immediately
fucking weird.
interviewed
If
as
she's
a
trying not to be
witness,
sus,
which, unbeknownst
she
to her, was the
sucks
detective's
ass.
first step in locking her into as many
Exactly,
lies
bro.
as
Like,
possible.
what is she doing?
Day right now is July 16, 2008. The time right now is 04:11 hours.
4 a.m.? 4:11 a.m.
I am with Casey.
Would be voted out
Is that correct?
immediately in Among
Casey, you
Us.
understand
Fucking
this is
true,
being
bro.
recorded? You have any objection to that?
No.
The
Casey, I got
the
calls
case
here
the
in,
Casey.
reference to a missing
What do you even
child.
call the characters in Among Us? The Amongs? The Casey Among. She's out.
House.
Yes.
And who is this babysitter?
Her name is Zenaida.
Zenaida Fernandez Gonzalez.
How long
Well,
have
we
you
actually
been-
figured out it's Zendala
Almost
Taco
4 years,
Rodriguez. So.
4 years Christmas this year.
Yeah, where did
Wait
you-
a second. Didn't she say on the phone that she's been her babysitter for a year and a half? Dude, she said that she's been a nanny for 1.5 years, and now she's saying she's known her 4 years. Fucking sussy.
Did you meet her? Who did you meet her through?
A mutual friend, his name
Sussy
is
as fuck.
Jeffrey Michael Hopkins.
All of these
I met
names sound
him
false.
at Nickelodeon at Universal.
Jeffrey
I met
Michael
her through
Hopkins.
him. She was.
I mean, math is pretty difficult for a few people.
Jeffrey
True.
still work at
Especially
the-
criminals.
No, he does not.
Do I know the outcome? Nah, I don't, bro. It's my first time watching it.
About
Watching it with you
9
guys.
months, give or take.
9
We
to
moved
10
to North
months.
Carolina for a short time and moved down to Jacksonville within the last.
I can't even keep up with her fucking
How would you
timeline.
characterize your relationship with Miss Anthony?
More or less.
Oh, he's real.
Were
The
you
guy's
good
real. I
friends?
thought his name was fake.
Not very good friends.
Did you ever
Not
work
good
at Universal
friends.
Studios?
Get owned.
I did.
When did you work at Universal Studios?
Approximately 2002.
How long did you work there for?
1 year.
Did you ever work
Okay.
there at
So
same
the
time
information about
that
this guy was
Casey
true.
Anthony
Alright.
worked?
I don't think so.
You don't recall ever
Still,
seeing
this Casey lady's sus so
her?
far.
Did you
Why the
ever
hell did she...
introduce Casey Anthony to a woman by the name of
How did
Zenaida
she...
Gonzalez?
Why did she
Did
not
not.
call the cops for a month?
Did you
I knew the story,
ever
but the
use
mini
Zenaida
doc made it
Gonzalez
way
as-
more
as a
interesting
name?
and sickening. Oh, fuck.
Do you
Alright.
have any children?
No,
Fuck.
sir.
I'ma hate this, I know it.
Have you lived in the Orlando area consistently since 2002?
Yes, sir.
Have you ever lived in Jacksonville?
No, sir.
Have you ever lived in North Carolina?
Okay, so
sir.
some of the info she gave was
Did you
false.
see Casey
So the
Anthony
guy's real, but the places she said that he moved to are
in the month
false.
of June
Okay.
of 2008?
Leaving
No,
it
sir.
there. Keen to see how you react. All right, bro. Oh man. Okay.
Do you know a telephone number for him?
Oh man,
can
you
find
fucking freaking
a
me out.
number for him. I don't know a number offhand. No, I do not.
So you met Zenaida through Jeffrey
Whenever
Hopkins,
someone
and
pauses
so
throughout
that
their
conflict
sentences,
against-
usually they're
Did you walk
thinking.
over
They're
that?
kind of lying.
And when did she start watching over your child?
It's been within the last year and a half, 2 years that she's.
Oh,
been
okay, so the nanny's been looking after
How
the
would you
kid for a year and a
normally
half,
drop
but she's
off-
known
how
her
would you
4
normally do the
years.
exchange with your child and Zenaida? Would you drop the child child off? Would she meet you somewhere?
I would usually drop her off for a few months.
What's weird about
We would
this
go
is
to
that the
Jack's
cops
house
have to
and
keep
we would
asking her
have
for
a long
info.
And you would go to Jeff's
She's
house
not
once
giving
a
it
week?
willingly. Like, she's not frantic about it. And she waited a month saying that she used her own resources. My assumption is she killed her own kid, but why? What the fuck?
Go back to your statement.
I already
You
hate
called
this.
Caylee June 9th, and walk me through. You dropped her off to go to work?
Mhm.
Okay. Get off
Okay.
of work and go from there.
I got off of work.
That poor nanny.
Universal, driving back to pick up
You reckon
Caylee,
she
like,
killed the nanny as
day.
well?
And I show up to the apartment, knock on the door, nobody answers. So I call Zenaida's cell phone.
Zenaida.
and
What a
it's
weird
out
name.
of service.
I don't think it's real. I don't think Zenaida's real.
Didn't really wanna come
It's
home
such a
and
weird
mention
name.
what I'd say
But
about
they
my
haven't found the
conversation.
nanny yet?
Stuff
I don't
like
know,
that.
dude. I
I
really
would
don't know.
call or, find out
I know
that
as much as
Caylee
you
was
right
coming
now.
back so then I could go get her. And I ended up going to my boyfriend Anthony's house, who lives in Sutton Place.
Anthony,
Okay.
boyfriend's
About,
Anthony.
What happened with Caylee?
No, I did not.
She didn't talk to her boyfriend about what happened to her daughter? What the this just
And you
keeps
talked
getting
to
weirder and weirder,
anyone
dude.
About Caylee, about your incident with Caylee? Or the fact
Outside
that
of
she's missing?
a couple people, a couple
Didn't
mutual
she say
friends.
that she was using outside means to find her daughter? She would have
Jeffrey
told a
Hawkins.
lot of people.
I talked to Juliette Lewis,
Right.
who's one of my coworkers at Universal,
She works. You still
She
work at
talked to
Universal?
people at Universal
What's the-
Studios.
an event coordinator.
Okay. What is Juliet? What position is she? Where she work?
She's also an event coordinator. We work in the same department.
The fuck?
Juliette Lewis doesn't exist. Casey had briefly worked at Universal, but hadn't
Pratt,
been
what's
employed
up, man?
there for over 2 years prior to this interview. And she wasn't an event coordinator.
She
stood
wasn't
behind
an
a
event
kiosk and sold
coordinator?
photos
So
of
she's just
people after
making
they
all
had
this
been
shit
on
up.
the Incredible Hulk ride.
You have a number for Juliet?
She was the photo person?
I can't think
That's
of
so
it.
easy to fact check. Why would you lie about that?
Some of the more recent numbers. Her number just changed because she just moved back up north. She
That
within the
pause
last
there,
2
the way
months,
that she
has
keeps
finished
pausing
moving back to New York. She's subleasing her apartment.
makes me think she's
Juliet doesn't
lying.
work at Universal anymore.
No, she does not.
Juliet isn't real.
What's the
We just
reason
learned that.
I asked you this before, and I'll ask you just for the record. What's the
God,
reason
this
you
is
didn't call the
nuts.
police before?
Okay,
I think part
that's
of me
suspicious
is
and
naive
fucked
enough to
up.
think that I
Exactly,
could handle
Pratt.
this myself, which obviously I
You could handle it yourself?
and
That's your
I was
reasoning?
scared that something would happen to her if I did notify the authorities or got the media.
Something would
involved.
happen to her?
Fear of
Considering all the
unknown,
lies so far. Bro,
fear of
something
the
did happen to
potential
her. This
Caylee
woman
getting
freaking
hurt
did it,
of
for
not seeing
sure.
my daughter again.
Maybe she never had a daughter.
I actually just-
The
no,
daughter's
I'm
fake
asking
too.
you
Everything's
a
fake.
I'll ask you again just to
She's
make
at
sure.
court for a fake person.
Is there anything about this story that you're telling me that is untrue? Or is there anything that you want to change or divert from what you've already told me?
No, sir.
Nothing is false. Okay, well we know that's not true. I love the detective pausing here.
Did you cause any injury to your child, Caylee?
No, sir.
She's actually just
Or
in court
Caylee
for
was
speeding.
somewhere
Jesus
you were
Christ.
that
I
you
wish.
Find that out that
I
people
hope.
Look at you a wrong way.
No, sir.
And you're telling me that Zenaida took your child without your permission and hasn't
She's
returned her.
the last person that I've seen with my daughter.
The
Yes.
last person she's seen with the daughter for a month.
She white.
She's mixed. She's black and
Mixed. Whenever you're lying, you
Is
say
there any
mixed,
underlying
bro. I swear. If you're lying, you say
why
mixed.
Zenaida would have taken your child?
nothing that
She ever make any statements to you about?
only how much.
Dude,
she
I'm so
loves
invested
Caylee
in
and
this.
how
Holy
great a kid
shit.
she is.
And when you talk to Jeffrey afterwards, I'm assuming that Jeffrey's child is still with him.
His child is still with him.
You said
Jeffrey's
Zenaida had family
child
up in-
child is still with
in
him.
New York or
Yes,
something?
she has family down south. Her mother and her sister. Her brother's in New York. She's
All of this has to be bullshit, right? Oh, Jesus Christ, Turtle. Welcome, man. We're watching a criminal
Zenaida,
psychology
the nanny,
video.
doesn't
Alright, boys.
exist.
I hope you're
Casey
doing
never
good,
had a
Turtle.
babysitter. Being the
She never had a
retrospective viewer, we have the
babysitter!
benefit of knowing these are outright
What's
fabrications.
sick?
And these meticulous details
What
are a
looks sick?
textbook sign of a pathological liar. She
The
speaks
pausing, right?
eloquently and naturally, as if her dialogue is a reflex response to the questions she's being asked. When in reality,
Yeah.
each of these minor details
That's what's
are
weird about
calculated
it.
and deliberately placed
That's what's
for the
weird
purpose of
about it. She's
deception.
so
And the
calm when she's
nonchalant,
answering about her
easygoing tone
missing
she
daughter.
employs is used to camouflage anxiety. Casey has not only become accustomed to manipulation, she has become extremely skilled in how to use it effectively. It takes us to the concept of nurture and how it most likely had a significant impact.
I
on
love
her
this
current
debate, nature versus
circumstances.
nurture.
If we
So if you guys don't know much about nature versus nurture, it's basically the theory that who we are as a person can be defined either by how we're raised or our genetics. And psychologists are still... psychologists and a lot of studies are still conflicting about it. You know, there's studies that say it's our genetics, there's some that say it's our environment, and I only know about this because I'm a master in psychology. The general consensus is it's a mix of both. So now that they're saying that the upbringing of this woman made her manipulative, it's kind of agreed that it's both. Some studies say that it leans in one way or the other, but the actual theory goes that early in your life, it's how you're raised, right? So early in your life, it's how you're raised. But as you age, your genetics actually play a much larger role, which is very interesting.
We go through what we know about Casey's domestic history.
Okay, let's see.
There are
Her
numerous
domestic history, her
occasions where she
nature,
had
okay,
gotten
how
away
she was
with things
raised.
that most would not, simply due to the fact that she was able to continuously lie without conscience. A prime example could
So
be
she
when
would get
was
away with
18
shit
years
by
old
lying.
and stopped attending class midway through her senior year. She literally skipped
That
the
makes sense.
entire second half of her final year to go hang out with her older
Imagine not getting
boyfriend. Her
consequences
parents
ever in
became
your life for
suspicious
lying.
on
Like, you
several
would just keep lying,
occasions,
wouldn't
yet
you?
each and every time, Casey had some whimsical excuse to which she was given the benefit of the doubt. Then just days
That's
before
why you gotta
graduation,
her
her
fucking
parents
punish
were
your
informed
kids
by the
sometimes,
school
man.
of her truancy.
You gotta
and that
give
she would
them
not be graduating.
punishment.
When confronted, Casey's excuse
Humans need
was that her
boundaries, bro.
timetable was mixed up by the school, causing her to miss classes through no fault of her own.
Never mind.
This is
Okay.
obviously a completely baffling excuse that no sane person would ever believe.
Should be
Yet
great.
whether it
Should be
through
great
denial
fucking
or an
impossible.
overprotective nature, Casey's
God
parents
damn
not
it,
only
Dad.
took her at her word, but even shielded her from
You
the
fucker.
consequences of her actions. They lied to all their family friends that she graduated with honors.
She
and even threw
lied
her
that
an
she
extravagant
graduated?
graduation party the day after. This is
She
just one of the
threw a
many occurrences where
graduation
Casey faced
party?
no ramifications for misconduct. It
A
seemed to
fake
give
one.
her the belief that no matter what she did, as long as she could spin one lie after another, or at least drag a lie out for as long as possible, everything would work itself out. The truth is that everything did
Fair
work
enough.
itself out when she was dealing with her parents, and she evidently thought the same rules applied with regard to national law and a missing child's investigation.
That is the big thing. That's the big thing. We learn a lot about being around our parents and we think it applies to the world. And then part of growing up and maturing is learning the world don't give a fuck how you were raised, bro. No one gives a shit.
After the initial statement you just heard, Casey was asked if she could take police to all places of interest. She happily obliged, and then proceeded to lead them to a multitude of fake addresses.
Yeah, this woman's fucked in the head.
Which she had nothing to do with. She then took them to her supposed office at Universal Studios.
So she
and
walked
literally
the
led
cops
3
around
senior
Universal
investigators
Studios.
to the very end of the building, taking over 25 minutes to walk to, before she finally turned around, put her hands in her back pockets, laughed, and admitted that she didn't work there. Completely dumbfounded,
What?
the detectives placed her under arrest and took her to a conference room in the building for what was essentially an interrogation.
Since I left you this morning,
She walked detectives around Universal Studios, realized she was cornered, and just said, well, I don't fucking work here. Jesus, what a compulsive liar.
right now is in a position that doesn't look very good for you. Because
God.
I know, and you know, that everything you told me is a lie, correct?
Not everything that I told you.
Not everything that I told you. Shit imposter. Yeah, bro.
That I don't know where she is.
Sure you do. And here's
So she's...
let me explain something.
What the hell? I know, right,
I know
Pratt? What the
that everything
fuck?
you told me is a lie. I'm very confident, just by having talked to you the short period of time, that you know where she is.
Whoa, the detectives are onto her, bro. They're like, you're a fucking liar,
I don't know
and...
anything happened to her, except I trusted her with somebody that had been taken.
Ah, she's bringing out the crocodile tears now. You can hear she's controlling the intonation of her voice, trying to create like, oh, I miss her.
He hasn't worked here for quite a
10
while.
months?
Fucking manipulator, bro.
Been at least 10 months.
He got fired in 2002. He hasn't been
6 years ago. Damn, he just called her out. Oh, she knows. She knows they've fucking got her.
I'm trying to think of places where I know she's been.
You're not answering my questions. Do you want us to help?
Yeah,
Damn.
I do want you to
Well,
help.
a good starting point would be to answer the questions, okay?
100%.
We're here because, and then you just ignore that like I never asked it and go off in some other direction. Is that answering the question?
Fuck it, dude. I love that the detective said that. I got to pause here for a bit. I love that the detective said that because the hallmark of manipulative people, okay? In psychology, we learn that the cornerstone of manipulation is never answering a question. Always divert it to the storyline that you want. And these officers are not, they don't give a fuck, bro. Girl's about to learn that the police is not daddy and mommy, 100%.
Let's go through this again. We're here because.
Because I lied. Because I broke
Damn, they got her.
And honestly, I was reaching for
No, stop
another
right there.
avenue.
I want
Yeah,
you to tell
yep.
me how
He
lying
caught her,
you
bro.
are.
He caught her right there trying to change the fucking storyline.
If the main thing you want to do is find your daughter, and you don't think lying to us is going to help us find her, why would you do that?
Good question. Why would you do that? Because she fucking knows where she is, I'm telling.
It's been a month.
What are you scared of?
I'm scared of not.
Oh, damn. Wait. She just fucked up. She's fucked up because this whole time she seemed calm and now she's saying, I'm scared, when she's never mentioned that before. And that implicates that she knows something's happened to her daughter, right? What are you scared of? He's got
I'm
her.
a parent too. I would have been beside myself.
I have been.
I would have called the police immediately, and that's the part that I just don't understand. Well,
I
we've
didn't know
got so
what
many
to do.
resources.
I didn't know what to do.
now
Wow.
On day one.
You didn't know what to do.
I didn't know what to do. At that
That's
point,
the
I'm
same
thinking,
thing.
okay, they haven't been gone that long. Maybe I can find them. Maybe I can track them down.
We're not stupid, okay? And what you're doing right now is you're treating us like we're stupid.
Yeah.
Everything's coming out of your mouth is a lie.
I like this
Everything.
Detective Melick.
Either you gave Caylee to someone and you don't want anyone to find out because you think you're a bad mom, or something happened to Caylee and Kaylee's buried somewhere or in a trash
Oh,
can
Jesus
somewhere,
Christ.
and you had something to do with it. Either way, right now, it's not a very pretty picture to be painting. You're painting yourself as a very bad person. This needs to end.
The truthful thing is that I have not seen my daughter. The last time that
Also,
I
she
saw
could have
her,
just said the girl went missing a day or two ago, much less sus.
Remember we had those two people that we were talking
Yeah.
about, the person who had an accident
Why did
and a
she
person
admit
who's
to the
just
daughter being gone for a
cold-blooded,
month?
callous monster?
That's like...
That's telling me that you are the second
Dude,
person, this
did I
cold-blooded,
study
callous
psychology?
monster
I can be a great
who doesn't
detective.
care and
Yeah,
doesn't
but I'm a
wanna help
master in
because
psychology.
She's afraid that something so heinous happened that
I do
everyone's gonna
counseling
look
and
at her and
stuff,
say, "She's
like
a
on
monster,
weekends.
She deserves to go away. She deserves to never see the light of day.
But
This
I
bad
could not
things
be a great
happen to her."
detective, bro.
I don't
I
wanna
would
believe
hate
that
my
right now
life
because
dealing
you're
with
giving
people
us
like
no
this.
choice. Tell us what
Just
happened
being
to
reminded
Caylee.
day in, day out
Tell us
about
what happened to
criminals.
Caylee.
dropped off Caylee.
Tell us what happened to Caylee. They just want to know. Dude, watching this, it's like the detective cares more about this woman's daughter than the fucking mum cares. Like the detectives care more.
Where did you drop her off?
I dropped her off at that apartment.
No, you didn't.
That's exactly
No,
where I
you
dropped
didn't.
her off.
Did you just think that one day she's just going to show up at your house?
No, I sat around.
I was going to say
yesterday
that.
trying to
Exactly,
figure
Death.
out
It's
what-
crazy.
I'm glad that I ended up seeing my mom, that all of that stuff happened. It happened for a reason. 'cause
You're
it's
glad
as
you
to-
saw your mom.
You glad
You
you-
could have saw your mom 5 weeks ago and said, Mom, I don't know
I
what.
saw my mom's reaction right off the bat, and it would have been the same from the get-go.
What the fuck is this woman even saying right now?
Your reaction than you are if you ever see your daughter
You
again.
know, I'm absolutely petrified. Absolutely
Yeah, she did
petrified.
just
I know
admit
my
that she
mom
cares
is
about the reaction of someone more than the actual situation, which again is another manipulator's toolkit. They care more about like social cues than consequences.
Kind of just accidentally told us you had an office here and we needed to be here, or did you purposely mislead us? Which of those two is it? Okay, so you purposely misled us.
Man.
This was all in an attempt to help find your daughter, right? That makes sense to you, correct?
In a backward sort of way, yes.
Backwards.
I'm
forward.
A
coming back to
backward sort
things
of
that are
way.
Familiar to me that I know are familiar to her. Familiar situations that
What did you
maybe,
think?
just maybe
How old is she?
would help. She's almost 3.
She's not even making sense.
I mean,
I know
how do you think she's going to get here?
because she's with someone else.
So true.
She's with someone else.
Her logic doesn't even make
who's hidden
sense.
from you for 5 weeks.
Yes.
Why
Okay.
would a person who has hid your daughter from you for 5 weeks, okay, bring her to the building that you used to work
Man,
at?
so true.
I don't know what else to do anymore. If I knew where she was, if something
let me
would have
ask you
happened,
this.
I would have admitted that
Do
a
you
long
think?
time
Do you
ago.
think? Do you believe thinking up more lies to tell us will help us?
She's with someone that I absolutely do not trust, and that I'm absolutely scared
That you don't trust yet was babysitting your daughter for you.
I don't trust her now because of what
Man,
happened.
I'm actually speechless at this conversation. This woman doesn't make sense at all.
No one.
Oh, no, okay, all right.
Crazy. Actually crazy.
Casey was then taken to the county jail, where she
Good.
in the evening hours was able to make a phone call, and just happened to see her mother on the local news moments before speaking to her.
Oh man, this is gonna be good.
Hey, sweetie.
This is gonna be good. Oh man, she's speaking to her mom. This is crazy. Let's read this from Pratt though. I feel like she did something by accident to her daughter, and the thing she did would have been found very easily. So she just stayed quiet and hid her body. Whoa. Oh. Oh man, I kind of agree. Fucking hell. It's the only reason you don't tell anyone, right? Like, oh Jesus.
Which one?
What do you mean, which one?
Which one? I did 4
I
different
did
ones,
4
and I
different-
haven't seen them all. I've only seen 1 or 2 so far.
So her mum's done, the grandmother has done 4 news appearances. Because the grandmother actually cares about finding the kid. And Casey is pissed that her grandmother went on the news. That's so-
You know where she's at. Are you kidding me?
Casey, don't waste your call to scream and holler at me.
Waste my call sitting in the jail?
Whose fault is you sitting in the jail? Are you blaming me that you're sitting in the jail?
Oh, she's going to use her tactics to manipulate her parents.
It's not your fault, sweetheart. If you'd have told them the truth and not lied about everything, they wouldn't.
The grandma's right.
I don't want to talk to you.
Do me a favor, just tell me what Tony's number is. I don't want to talk to you right now. Damn, that's so manipulative. Oh, fucking guilt tripping her, bro. Dude, imagine you're the grandma. You just want to find your daughter, your granddaughter, and your daughter guilt trips you saying that that wasn't helpful because clearly this Casey chick's trying to hide something. That's so manipulative. Jesus Christ.
I don't have his number.
We'll get it from Lee because I know Lee's at the house. Get Tony's number for me.
Oh my God.
Hey, can you give me Tony's number?
I can do that. I don't know what real good it's going to do.
Yeah, Lee's right. What the hell's that going to do?
Talk to him anyway.
Okay.
Because I called to talk to my mother and it's waste. Oh, by the way, I don't want any of you coming up here when I have my first hearing for bond and everything else. Like, don't even waste your time coming up here.
God, she's so manipulative. She's actually emotionally attacking them.
I'm not going around and around with you. That's pretty pointless.
But I like that Lee has some good frame, bro. Lee is a freaking Sigma male, dude. He's got that Sigma grind set. He does not care what Casey says. She really did something by accident, then just say it. You can get lower punishment than making a fool. Exactly. Exactly. Like you'd be charged for manslaughter.
No, I want Tony's number. I'm not talking to anybody else.
Hello?
Hi, I'm glad everybody's at my house. Do me a favor, get my brother back because I need Tony's number.
Who's this Christina girl?
Tony have anything to do with Caylee?
No.
Lee has played Among Us. God damn. That's just good. That's way too good, man. God damn. It's so perfect for this video. Arrested on a whim. Dude, when you lash out and attack people that are trying to support you, that is pure manipulation right there. Dude, this Christina, the way that this Christina girl is responding is how a person who's not mentally fucked in the head should respond.
Oh my god, calling you guys? Wait.
Oh! Guys, this chick, Christina, I know, comfy. This woman, Christina, is crying about Casey's daughter. She's like, if anything happens, and Casey says, oh my God, calling you guys waste. Oh wow. What the fuck?
Casey appeared in court the
Jesus!
next morning and was initially denied bail by the judge. He cited his reason as her undeniable disregard for the
God.
welfare of her own child. She was kept in protective custody, and it would be 9 days until she received her first visit from her parents.
Oh my God, we got to see this. So the grandparents are now visiting her. She's laughing. She's laughing, bro.
We forgive anything that you've said or done.
Hold on. Can we turn the volume down? Yeah, you can probably hear it. My head's gonna explode.
She seems like she's in such a good mood.
You know, other things. Caylee's picture's on the back.
Is it? Can Dad show me the shirt?
She is mentally, dude, Pratt. Fucking bro, this chick is the Joker.
Have you seen me? And then it has the information.
This is great. See, the grandparents are doing like what you should be doing.
Casey, you don't realize that whole United States is looking for our Caylee. I know that one. Her cover's going to be on People magazine in a few days.
That's fantastic.
With a readership of over 46 million adults in America, having your missing child on the front cover of People magazine would seem as a godsend to most.
Yeah,
Yet
exactly.
Casey's response is almost as if it's a lost cause.
Everybody is looking for her.
Damn.
Everybody is looking for her.
Damn, that's so true. She's got like the whole fucking country looking after her daughter, and she's just like sighing. Nuts.
There you go. So now, look straight up so I can look into your eyes, darling. Thank you. I need to do that. It's okay to cry, Casey.
Now she's crying because she knows she's backed into a corner
Setting
now.
aside morality
She
and
knows.
ethics for just a moment,
She knows she
Casey at
can't
this
get away
point
with it,
would be
right?
Emotionally exhausted. She
Whatever
had been
it is.
sitting in an isolated jail cell for almost 2 weeks as the entire world.
Can I just say, actually, this is the first time we've seen real emotion from this person. I feel like this is the first time we've seen any real emotion. Everything else has been
Anyone in her
a lie and
position, guilty or
calculated.
otherwise, would be at near breaking point, and her composed exterior now finally slips. She, for a brief moment, allows herself to be vulnerable, and for perhaps the first time, expresses the pain of her
Yeah,
situation.
100%.
This is one of the few moments where Casey's true self is on display. Of
Yeah,
itself,
yeah,
it's
I
a
agree.
touching moment between a mother and daughter.
Or she read some
Yet if
stupid
we
book,
add in
wanted
the
her life to
context
be
of
like
the
that, so she
surrounding
created the same
elements, she is
situation and
only
she's fucked up
expressing this
inside her
pain for
head.
herself.
Yeah.
Just a
True,
moment
bro.
ago, when she saw her
Could
deceased
be.
daughter's face on her father's shirt, none of this emotion came out.
Casey, I want to ask you.
Damn, that's a good fucking point. Dude, this narrator's so smart. We're seeing her cry for the first time after she's like realized that like people are looking for her daughter. Like, what the fuck? But when he showed the picture of her daughter on the back of his t-shirt, she didn't give a fuck. Cold.
The rest of the visit is extremely bizarre. Casey's parents try to extract any information they can about Caylee's possible
Yeah, I think her
whereabouts,
parents
and
are
each
pretty
time
suspicious
are
of her.
essentially dismissed by Casey as if they're asking pointless and irritating questions.
Do we have any pictures of Sandy's apartment?
Lee and I already talked about this. I don't know. It could be on the disc at home. I don't
She's so defensive.
I can't get into your.
I gave Lee everything already. I gave Lee all of the passwords.
She's so dismissive.
I want to get
all over again.
Wow.
video clips off Caylee.
This is another telltale sign that someone's lying. If you question them, and again, it's another form of that changing the story.
Right, and we need to show her personality. So I need to.
Emotion fades when speaking of her daughter.
I gave Lee the password.
Please look up, sweetheart.
But it's another way to lie. You just treat it as though their question's stupid.
Look at the camera.
Well, you don't have to look at the camera. Look at me.
I'm looking at you. Okay. You're sitting very low.
The exchange switches back and forth from inquisitive and challenging to sympathetic and loving, and every time her parents stop inquiring over the case,
The narrator's
show that
voice
they still
actor does
care
heaps
about
of these
Casey
criminal
herself,
videos. I found a
is
few
when
other
the
YouTube
tears come
channels
out.
using his narration. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, he's like got the perfect voice for it.
Hey, gorgeous, how you doing?
I look like hell.
I look like hell? Why the fuck does she care what she looks like? Because she's insane.
I haven't been crying while I've been in here.
She hasn't been crying?
Books and do other things to keep my mind off.
I haven't been crying about my...
Be able to reach out and hug you and give you the big Papa Joe hug.
Emotion builds.
But you know, we got to get that little girl back any way we can, and we're doing everything we can.
My only concern.
Damn, true. Wait, every time they bring up the daughter, she just...
The statement specifically for me. He's gonna give them the
Cold.
Every time Casey's parents mention that people are willing to help with a search, Casey dismisses their credibility and even attacks some of their characters while she's at it.
Oh my god, guys. This woman's nuts. She's actually... I don't... Oh, fuck. Dude, when we find out what happened to this little girl... Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm like hugging my water bottle. To comfort me. What happened to her husband? Where is he? Well, it sounds like she had a boyfriend. At the start of the video, they were talking about how she was found by police with her boyfriend smoking weed. So we don't know anything about her husband, or if she had one. Caylee has been so lucky instead of is so lucky. That's a key point right there. That's talking about past tense, not present tense. And now she's flipped it back. She still has. Not sure if you're huge into the MCU and Marvel scene. No, I am. That's crazy, Death. Holy. That's cool. This exchange is so weird. She keeps talking about herself rather than her daughter. That's something I've noticed. Pretty hype. Yeah, dude. God is hype, actually. I don't know if I'm in the mood to be hyped, but inside I'm feeling it.
We get another glimpse at Casey's skill in fabricating information and her ability to intertwine specific details to afford her lies some credibility. These minor intricacies are what would make her extremely convincing if we didn't happen to know otherwise.
They never searched by her full name. They searched by Zenaida Fernandez, whereas Zenaida Gonzalez never by her full name. And
Damn, that's like a pretty intricate lie to come up with right there.
I don't think she has a middle name. There was never a middle name on anything that I remember seeing.
She has a boyfriend and a daughter. Does that mean her daughter is her ex-husband? She keeps reminding about her ex-husband when she sees her daughter. Oh, fuck. Oh, that could be it. She's maxed out the storytelling skill tree. This chick on New World would have level 150 storytelling. This is not the moment, Sean. What's up, man? Speech 1000. This is nuts. This phone call is so dragged out, but I bet it told the detectives so much stuff about how this woman like manipulates, how the grandparents definitely had nothing to do with it, right? Because they're really trying. Hey, Comfy, thanks for the follow, bro. Thanks for the follow, man. Appreciate it. Welcome to the Ferk fam. I would be all like hype about you joining and all that shit, but you know, not the moment. Oh my god. Fucking sound alerts, man. Did her and her boyfriend both did something to the daughter? Honestly, Pratt, you're starting to make me think that.
The first time Casey told the truth when speaking of her daughter's whereabouts, as she indeed wasn't that far away. Her attorney, Jose Baez, eventually managed to get her bail, and Casey was fitted with an electronic monitoring device and released on August 21st.
Dude, imagine being a fucking defense attorney and you have to defend these sick people.
On the charge of first-degree murder. She was taken in for interrogation, but immediately requested her right to counsel. She was kept in the interview room while awaiting her attorney, and the released footage of that period
God, she even
so
looks
bizarre to the point where it's almost
The thing is if it wasn't for the way her eyes are, she would look like a normal person. But she freaks me out, bro. She freaks me out.
The detectives give off a passive, yet glaringly obvious vibe that lets Casey know exactly what they think, being that she is guilty of her daughter's probable death and a fundamentally terrible human being on every imaginable level. Casey's
Holy
response
shit.
to this is to essentially ignore it.
They
and
think
act
that
as if the
she killed
discourse
her.
between them and the situation itself is an
Sleep
everyday
paralysis
occurrence,
demon.
one that perhaps doesn't concern the
Oh,
disappearance of her
true,
daughter,
dude.
for which she is being charged for.
This is
You'll
what
notice
sleep
that
paralysis
she
looks
effortlessly
like.
maintains the same confident and talkative disposition that she had in her previous interviews with police. It's almost surreal to watch given the circumstance, and the visual element adds an entire new level to the absurdity.
So now they're questioning her about murdering her daughter.
The first segment
They think
of
that she
footage
did it.
shows the
And
arresting
yeah, she looks
officer
so
waiting with
confident.
Casey for the lead investigator to arrive. He initiates the conversation by bringing up the subject of Casey's parents. He asserts that he's worried about
So
them.
smart.
The
So smart. This detective, if you look at the start, he's sitting there like on his phone, just kind of chilling on his phone. And almost, he uses the technique we call the silent gap. Basically, if you stay silent for 10 seconds in an interaction, the other person generally is going to start a conversation because it builds up so much social anxiety. So he's just sitting there on his phone, letting Casey stew about all of this and let the emotion build up inside her to the point where she has to break frame and start the conversation, and then he keeps it going. So smart. Too much consuming of weed. Jeez. Silent treatment. Exactly. Kegel, what's up, man? Where's the hot tub? Behind me. The batteries I got for the pump don't work, so I have to get new ones. This is my favorite part. All right.
actual message he's putting across is that he essentially knows Casey is guilty and that she isn't fooling anyone. It's an indirect yet obvious accusation.
Poet manual.
I was afraid that some of what I said to them probably
Maybe.
offended them because I told them that if I
Man, this woman is so comfortable right now for being accused of her daughter's murder. I love this. I love the detective's body language as well. It's so like laid back. It's great. It's kind of like he's giving her the impression like, dude, I already know what I know and fuck you. I found a few missing people. I found a few and it sucks both ways, and she says, yeah, I agree. Okay.
Where I get sideways with people tends to be when attorneys get involved.
I've heard most people say that. They don't like attorneys very much.
I have many family
She's laughing in an interview about her murdering her own daughter. Suspicion.
to set aside the rules.
Dude, this right here, he highlighted it that, In social psychology, we find that people who manipulate a lot use that to feign. They're essentially faking that they're interested or understand. They try to use that. You call that they're trying to activate mirror neurons and get the person to feel like they're understood, and then essentially it'll make you like that person more. And manipulators know that subconsciously, so they do that a lot. They'll nod their head and say You can usually catch it out when they say at weird moments.
You know what? So be it. That's
This girl's straightforward or stupid. Other people try to act as serious and sad, but this girl is like, yeah, dude, she's cold.
I heard it and she'd already invoked it.
She's laughing too. She's trying to seem relatable.
That's the way it is. That's all that matters.
But this is not the
The
context
detective
to be
here has
relatable.
essentially just asked Casey for the information he knows she has about her missing child. Rather than retaliate and refute the blatant accusation, Casey continues with her sharp responses of accordance, as if to say she agrees, and knows exactly where the detective is coming from. Yet, although she apparently agrees, she offers no information or follow-up dialogue thereafter.
Exactly. He's saying, like, I know that you know where the daughter is. And Casey, in an attempt to seem relatable, is basically saying, yep, I relate. I do know.
It's
like,
so
you know,
incredibly awkward,
it's
yet
fucking
equally
weird.
intriguing to watch.
Wow, what the fuck?
When we did
This is crazy. This is just catching a manipulator, like, in the act. It's nuts.
And I sat there and I looked right at the guys that we worked with. I said,
That's not what's
who
important.
cares?
Yeah.
We found
Oh my gosh, she's trying to finish his sentences to seem relatable.
it's coming to him. That's not my job.
She is fucking up.
And it works out in the end. And it works out in the end on all sides, to be honest with you. It may not be comfortable.
This is what I mean. She's saying
I've done things that
at weird
I get
moments.
caught for. I'm not going to be comfortable, I can tell you that. It's just the way life is.
And what I just noticed as well, she's laughing at moments when the detective is raising his pitch. So when you raise your pitch, it's supposed to imply humor, right? So manipulative people, to seem like they fit into that situation, they're going to laugh. But he's not trying to be humorous, you know? Not in this situation. She's really fucking up here.
But it's not the end of the road either. And that's what we have to keep in mind. It's not the end of the road.
Casey then casually brings up the topic of the grand jury and the media surrounding her murder trial. She raises the questions as if she's talking about her favorite daytime TV show.
Yeah,
But if the subpoena itself is just a regular federal or grand jury subpoena, that's public record.
Yeah.
It doesn't say what it's for. It doesn't say what case it's in. It doesn't. It just says you're subpoenaed to appear before the grand jury.
Well, with them announcing that there was going to be a grand jury.
God, I just hate how casual she's being throughout all this. It just creeps me out.
Who threw your name out?
The media said that it was from an inside source, meaning in here. So that's where they all say is.
I can tell you what I think of the media and what I think of people who leak stuff to the media.
I think it's garbage. Yeah, I agree. That's the next.
Yeah, she sounds like she's talking about Game of Thrones season 8, bro. Not about her fucking daughter.
Without them?
Any insight on why she attempts to finish the sentence? Yeah, so again, it's a ploy to seem like you're relating to the person. Essentially, again, it has to do with mirror neurons, where you're so in sync, you're so similar, you're so alike, you're so relatable that you can finish their sentence. You're on the same wavelength. It's another attempt at seeming. It's a charm method, and salespeople will use that tactic a lot, where they'll try and like finish your sentence for you and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be quite honest. Without the media, we don't find a quarter of the kids that we.
Oh, I agree. It helps. The exposure has helped bring in so many tips for my daughter.
But at the same time,
it helps. It helps.
That otherwise isn't necessary.
Exactly.
The tips are what the tips are.
Mm-hmm.
If it was a local media,
he is disagreeing with her when she just said that she's glad that it's happening, and then he's disagreeing, and she's saying, "Yeah." Mm-hmm.
Where you get the tips also that come from
Weird.
Hawaii that say,
Or weird. She basically stands on no ground. She doesn't have an opinion because she's manipulating him. Generally, manipulators don't have their own opinion. They base all their actions on what you say to seem like they agree with you. So the way to cash them out, the best way is what he's doing. You create an opinion, get them to agree, and then flip it. And get them to agree to both. And then you say, well, which one do you agree with?
Okay. I know this is. Oh, yeah, that's not good.
Pull it back there. Just slide your hand out. No,
I honestly can't. So they're a little tight.
Thanks for entertaining.
Literally just laughing that she's in handcuffs. It's crazy.
Actually, if I could, I would have done that for you.
Do you know Baez's phone number off the top of your head?
No,
I guess she's trying to move his sentence towards a favorable side.
I know his office number.
No, she's trying to seem like they're on the same page. But imagine he's taking the page and flipping it over. So he's getting her to agree to both sides of the page, and essentially by doing that, calling her out on her fluid take on things, like calling her out on her manipulation.
If you'd like to come down and meet with us, thank you. Yes. To answer your
Lead investigator. All right.
from that picture,
This should be good.
it was really short. Even last year, I just started growing it back
She
out.
talks about herself so much. She cares so much about herself, which is the sign of a psychopathic person, because their ego is so inflated.
It's been a long day.
I'm getting psychopath vibes from this girl.
In our time.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I only saw from the media and got a chance to hear him talking to my mom.
While this case was running, wasn't any lie detector invented. The thing is when you're dealing with a psychopath, lie detectors actually usually don't help much, because they can keep their heart rate low, which is what the lie detector relies on.
Yeah, he was being called in to essentially.
Lie detector tests aren't admissible in court either way, because they're so unreliable.
He was really struggling with that.
Yeah.
So they need to get like actual confessions.
And I felt bad for him, to be honest with you. I truly did.
Well, I even told him last night. I know he was subpoenaed,
Imagine you were Casey, but void of any wrongdoing whatsoever. Your daughter was kidnapped 5 weeks ago, and now a detective who thinks you're the culprit is relaying the agonizing moments of your father providing information for your arrest. No matter how stoic or self-controlled your nature, you would most likely be in tears or completely enraged at the overwhelming unjustness of
That's
the
such a good
situation.
point. I would be fucking livid about it. But she's so controlled. You know? Got a point and good info. Yeah, no worries, bro. Keep asking questions like that, because, yeah, I should hopefully have some good insight for you guys.
What they were planning on doing from the very beginning, from that first.
How is she so calm? Dude, Esha, exactly, bro. Literally psychopath. So, psychopath is basically a person defined by no emotion. They function through their ego. And so it's very surface based. And the reason they talk about themselves a lot and appearance a lot is because the view of the world is appearance based, not emotion based. It's based on ego. So their truth, they think that the truth is determined by visuals and how they look and present themselves, because they don't get those social emotional cues. It doesn't make sense. So they're very good at like faking this shit, but to a point. Like the way she's been acting to us seems really fucking weird because we actually understand emotional and social cues, but these people don't get it.
Have you ever made any effort to try to talk to me?
No, Pratt. Nice try.
It's kind of difficult considering.
But she's acting in a way that she, on the surface, she thinks that she's getting away with shit right now. I guarantee you. She thinks that she seems believable.
Yeah. But I do have counsel, and that's something that, you know, my attorney's always been a phone call away.
Has your attorney ever told you that we would like to speak to you?
And we had agreed, him and I together, that we would all sit down together, him and I, and you guys, and, you know, we entertain whatever questions.
She's trying to seem like a mediator right now.
There's no possible way that a defense attorney would actually sit down and, as Casey states, entertain any question the police have for them. Yet if we weren't paying close attention, we would take her at her word due to the eloquence of her dialogue and not realize everything she's saying is complete nonsense.
I actually thought that we made it pretty clear that
A believable lie. Every good lie has an element of truth in it.
I thought that you were aware that if you wanted to talk to anybody, that
Imagine sitting in this room, being this fucking investigator, and investigating this case, and basically knowing this woman probably has something to do with the death of a girl, and you need to, like, dude, respect to these guys, bro. Like,
When Sergeant Allen was saying, well, we want to talk to her. When can we talk to her?
I could never look one of these fucked up people in the eyes. Bro, I have a fat ego.
How instinctive and confident her assertions are. In any other circumstance, or even without the knowledge we have now, you would have no reason not to believe everything she's saying.
I've heard the words come out of
Just means you're a shit cup.
directed to other people that maybe didn't either relay the message or took it a different way. So I don't know. I think the lack of communication has put people in opposite corners.
This is the other thing. Her body language, the way that she's speaking and she's using her hands to communicate a message. When you are emotional, you do not use controlled movement in body language. This movement is a sign of confidence, calm, and thinking about communication. When you're emotional, you're just like fucking like, I don't know. Like you're frantic. You're not controlled. If I was the investigator in the room, I would really feel like giving her the 3rd-degree torture, bro. Relate, yeah. It's same.
As a mom, I know in my gut there's the feeling as a parent, you know certain things about your child, you can feel that connection. And
This woman doesn't feel a connection to anyone, I bet.
I have that feeling, that presence. I know that she's alive.
No, you don't. It's so obvious because you have no emotion in your communication, but this woman thinks that she is believable right now.
I mean,
we had more than speculation.
as every tip and
Hey Ferk, is this the first video on this channel I've checked out? Yeah, bro, I found this recently. I was like, dude, I gotta watch these, and I wanted to do watch parties, so We can watch all these together if you guys want, like once a week or
This was
something.
essentially a direct confrontation. The detective
Wait, I
was
missed
just-
that. Let's go. Oh my god, guys. This detective literally just said, we have the evidence we need to convict you. And this woman, in an attempt to seem, again, relatable, likable, like she's in this situation, right? Manipulation tactics, literally just agreed and said, yeah, you do have that evidence. Like, it doesn't make sense. Guess we'll recommend the next one then. Yeah, absolutely.
This was essentially a direct
It
confrontation.
was a direct
The detective has
confrontation.
just told Caylee they have sufficient evidence to prove her guilt. Caylee
Oh
doesn't
my
refute
God.
or even respond to the accusation.
Yeah, she
instead
just
falls
agrees.
back to her ridiculous dialogue once again, hoping the confidence in her voice will mask the absurdity of what she's actually saying.
Well, and I've said
Exactly. They rely on
things to
confidence a
them,
lot.
but, you know, they said that we're at the end of a hallway, and I'm thinking we're
Or
at
more
the end of a hallway,
specifically,
there's two doors.
their
Which door do we go
controlled
through, or I guess
appearance.
this is, you know, we're at this point, and
We are at this point. We're
the
well
final step is which door is walked through.
We are well beyond where we were before.
Mhm.
I mean, those issues are gone, okay? And when you refer to we're at the end of the hallway, I think you are well aware of what hallway we're talking about.
Damn, this investigator's good, bro. He's backing her.
Well, so there's no question, I guess. You can specify that at this point.
She's trying, okay, that tactic right there is what we call, like, it's like a summary, right? So what you do is when you talk to someone, you take what they're saying, you summarize it and say it back to them, right? Again, in an attempt to see like you're relating to the situation, they can trust you, all this shit. So she's trying to do that, but you can't summarize an accusation and say it back to someone without it saying fucking weird.
Absolutely. Can we come in?
The fuck?
That's fine.
You plan on running off?
I'm not going anywhere.
I gotta stretch out a little bit. I'm not as young as I used to be.
It's unfortunate that right when the pressure was starting to build, the second detective interrupts the exchange, and they both leave the room soon after. Caylee waits alone for roughly 40 minutes before her attorney
40
shows up.
minutes. What a great way to build pressure.
Don't say anything else other than the answer. Okay? Casey.
God, I can't imagine being a defense attorney, bro. It's the hardest job.
Mr. Baez over the phone. If there's been numerous requests for opportunities to speak with us and come to a resolution here. And that's why we brought you here instead.
I like that they're all standing.
Okay. Now,
This is another body language
let's
thing.
call him and bring him here. He's here.
When you stand and talk to someone who's sitting,
Just give you a few minutes somewhere.
you apply a lot of pressure.
No secrets, I told you. This room's resorted. I have to be able to approach my chain and explain why.
The detective now guilefully takes Caylee up on her previous offer, where she insisted they were willing to sit down with police and answer questions.
But first, I needed you to tell him.
He said, remember when your lawyer said you guys would sit down and talk to us? And now her lawyer's going to be like, the fuck? I didn't say that.
I told him the same thing we talked about before, that we would entertain any questions that they have. We would listen and discuss.
She's about to get called out.
If we have something to respond, we'll respond.
Okay, do you want to speak to me in private?
Yes.
So we can clarify this.
Yes.
It would come as no surprise that no conference was to be had. Caylee was instead taken to the county jail, where she would remain for 2.5 years awaiting trial. Once
Two and
this
a
footage
half
was released to
years
the public
awaiting
domain,
trial.
The consensus
Holy
was that
fuck.
Caylee at best was a cold-hearted mother, and at worst, a hideous, despicable murderer. But what's curious is that although these opinions
Two
may be
and a
accurate,
half
they came from a
years. The
completely
case wasn't
misguided notion,
resolved?
being that her behavior in the footage was entirely genuine. Caylee was in all likelihood being completely fake this entire time.
Yeah,
So you might be
100% she was being
curious as to
fake.
why a person would actually fake such a poised temperament, when it would be far more fitting to fake sadness and despair. We all have aspects to ourselves that are ungenuine to a certain degree. How we act at a business dinner won't be the way we are at home with our
Yeah, that's
close
right. We
friends
have
or
different
family. The more
different layers
comfortable
to
a
our
setting,
ego.
the more we can be ourselves. Those educated on Caylee's past would assert that she was rarely
Oh,
sad,
bro, I'm not
rarely
watching
angry,
haunted
but
shit,
always
man.
this bubbly and agreeable personality, even when
Maybe.
it didn't suit the
Send it
situation.
across, I'll see.
She was one of those people where something just seemed off, but you couldn't quite put your finger on it. The evidence put forward suggests that Caylee was fake in every single setting and with every single person all of the time. a trait that might go unnoticed in everyday
God,
life,
such a
yet
scary
would clearly
photo right
stand
there.
out when shown under the microscope of a criminal case study. Casey had become so accustomed to this fraudulent way of being that it even came as
That's
a
the thing,
natural
bro.
behavior.
People that are psychopaths, they're very good at swapping the layers of their ego at will because they're masters of reading body language and knowing how to adapt it for themselves, but they cannot do the emotional aspect. German girl story, my favorite. Okay.
To her in the extraordinary setting we see here. And the assertion is that because Casey knew just how well she could fabricate this character, she thought she could use it to mask her anxiety and thus conceal guilty behavior. Casey, in all likelihood, had little to no regard for her daughter. That's not even an argument anymore. But her true temperament here would likely be far more apprehensive due to the concern over her own welfare. Every time
That's the thing. She's more concerned about herself. She keeps
Casey
talking
kept
about
the
herself,
same
her
tone,
appearance.
same demeanor, and same confident, lighthearted disposition. If you took her out of this interrogative setting and placed her in the mall with her friends, it would seem completely normal. She
Yeah.
would be faking her personality in both environments, yet we are only able to realize it in one. This type of mindset is linked to sociopathy.
That is actually such a
Whatever
good
the
one.
situation
Yeah,
or
see, sociopathy.
circumstance, they
A part
need
of
to have an
psychopathy.
advantage over you. So how do they do this? They lie, and also calculate how they are going to feel and react to a certain situation before it occurs. The entirety
it.
of her focus was on making herself look good rather than being worried about the actual quality
Bang.
of her character.
That's exactly what I'm
Casey,
saying.
in a nutshell, was an inauthentic person, long before she ever gave birth to her ill-fated daughter. And her skill at deception alongside her manufactured personality is arguably the most terrifying part of this entire case. On December 11th, 2008,
she's
just
got a
under 5
fucked
months
up
since she was
demeanor.
reported missing, Caylee's skeletal remains were discovered in a swamp less than a mile away from the Anthony household. She was wrapped in a Winnie the Pooh blanket and then placed in a candy.
Wait,
reported
what?
missing. Her personality is arguably the most terrifying part of this entire case. On December 11th, 2008, just under 5 months since she was reported missing, Caylee's skeletal remains were discovered in a swamp less than a mile away from the Anthony household. She was wrapped in a Winnie the Pooh blanket and then placed in a canvas laundry bag. Duct tape was discovered around the nose and mouth area of the skull, and her death was ruled a homicide. Prosecutors in the case then announced they would be seeking the death penalty. There were a multitude of...
The daughter had duct tape to stop, so she was suffocated?
Discoveries made
Oh
in the
my
lead-up to
God.
the trial, and many
What?
believed it to be an open and shut case due to the damnatory nature of the evidence. On the last day Caylee was seen alive by anyone other than her mother, and the day many believed she was murdered, Caylee Anthony made the following internet searches.
What the fuck?
At 7:54 p.m. that same evening,
Foolproof
Casey and her boyfriend
suffocation.
Tony were seen in a Blockbuster video store. Caylee was nowhere in sight, and many presume she was already dead and decomposing in Casey's trunk at this point. In the
Oh my
following
God.
weeks, Casey went out partying most nights. Just 3 days after her daughter's supposed abduction, she was captured in various photos participating in a hot body contest. 12 days
Oh my
after,
God.
she got a tattoo on her back saying Bella Vita, an Italian motto that translates beautiful life. She also made an entry
Beautiful
in her diary
life?
around
Your
the same
daughter's
time, which
missing?
read, I completely trust my own judgment, and I knew that I made the right decision. This is the happiest that I have been in a very long time. I hope that my happiness will continue to grow. The trial commenced on May 24th,
Jesus
2011.
Christ.
The gist of the
She
prosecution's
really didn't
argument
want a
was that
daughter.
Casey
What
suffocated her
the?
daughter with duct tape and then placed her in the trunk for a few days before disposing of her body in the swamp. The motive for the murder was the primary focus during
What happened
their
to her
opening
daughter? My
statement.
internet's really fucked up. Okay. The daughter was found in a swamp with duct tape over the mouth and nose, the skeletal remains, wrapped in a Winnie the Pooh blanket in a laundry bag. And the mother, they found photos of her mum in clubs 3 days after the daughter went missing. And she got a tattoo called Beautiful Life after her daughter was missing. Oh, what the fuck?
Case about Casey Marie Anthony. It's a story about Caylee Anthony as well. Caylee Anthony.
Look at
was
this
born on
psychopath.
August 9th of 2005. It was a Tuesday. And Caylee lived nearly every
Dude, Pratt.
day of her life
100%.
on a quiet residential street in Orlando called Hope Spring Drive. Casey Anthony, Caylee's mother,
Casey just didn't want a daughter anymore?
to all outward observers, to be what her parents thought she was. A loving mother working hard to provide support for her daughter. But as the evidence in this case and the investigation into the background of Caylee Anthony will show, that was an illusion.
Dude, this is messed up. Like, I was just thinking, like, imagine you've known someone for years and it turns out they've been fake their whole life. Like, oh my God.
And is out of the house.
That is mental.
George
Like, imagine you just know, so she killed her daughter, yeah. Well, that's what it seems like.
12:50 p.m.
I mean, she literally searched on the day that her daughter died. Foolproof suffocation. They found that in the search history. So, yeah, she killed her daughter.
Of 2008,
Oh my God.
his daughter Casey left the residence on Hope Spring Drive.
Dude, Eshan, it's actually
Caylee,
so fucked up. This is why I could never work in the legal system.
jean shorts,
Imagine being reminded of these people every day.
and JoJo, George Anthony, kissed his granddaughter goodbye and never saw her again.
Fucking hell. That's heavy. That's so heavy. Damn.
In fact, no one but Casey Anthony ever saw Caylee.
Every day I grow a closer understanding Thanos. Facts.
The
Facts.
evidence in this case will establish that there is no other reason for the placement of multiple pieces of duct tape on this child's face, mouth, and nose other than the specific
Jesus.
events in that child's life. No one but Casey Anthony had access to all
She's shaking her
in
head.
this case. The duct tape, the laundry bag,
You
the
disgusting
blanket,
person.
the shirt, the
Disgusting.
no one else
Shaking her. She has the audacity to even care about being caught.
from the death of Caylee Marie Anthony.
That's it. No one else would have had motive.
Allowed Casey Anthony to live a good life, at least for those 31 days.
Although there was a lack of direct physical evidence tying the defendant to her daughter's death, the evidence the state actually
Seen the video of the
had
grandma who
still
killed her
seemed
son-in-law?
overwhelming,
Bro, that
and they
shit was-
understandably thought relying on the
Jeez,
facts
this.
alone would easily secure a conviction.
Life sentence, bro.
The defense, on the other hand, were up against it. So not only
Look
did
at this. Look at this defense lawyer, bro. This is why I don't like defense attorneys, man. Imagine having to defend this. What was her motive? Her motive was to be free, is what the evidence is showing. She wanted to be free. Dude, Eshan, that video sounds fucked. Sad truth was she could have legit asked her parents to raise Caylee. Dude, that's what I'm thinking. What are you doing? Give your daughter up for adoption. Free from daughter, yeah. Like, I guess she didn't want to be a mum anymore because she got like a tattoo, the beautiful life. She started going clubbing. She was with this boyfriend. I wouldn't be surprised if the boyfriend had something to do with it.
they used charm and appeal to sway the jury's attention away from the evidence. They
Could have
dropped
given
an
daughter for
absolute
adoption.
bombshell in their
Exactly.
opening statements to create as much doubt as humanly possible.
On behalf of the defense, I want to thank you for the sacrifice.
Fuck this guy. I know you're doing your job, but don't pick this job.
We know it's no easy task.
I really feel like it has
We
to
intend,
do with
I'm
her
sure, both
ex-husband.
sides
Maybe. We still got
getting you home as quickly as possible. once
like
we
10 minutes left in the video, so there's something else we got to
Everyone
discover.
wants to know what happened.
Right?
How in the world can a mother wait 30 days before ever reporting her child missing?
Yeah, that's right, buddy. Why? How
It's
could a mother
insane.
do that?
It's bizarre. Something's just not right about that. Well, the answer is actually relatively simple. She never was missing. Caylee Anthony died on June 16, 2008, when she drowned in her family's swimming pool. Well, the reason we're all here is because
The defense's case is that the daughter was never missing, which Casey, this fucked up person, already admitted that she was missing to her own mother and that the daughter died in the pool. Dude, fuck defense.
not of the
Oh my God.
commonality of this tragedy, but of the uniqueness of the family that it happened to. You will hear about ugly things, secret things,
What the hell? How is there still 10 minutes left in this video? What is there to find
things
out?
that Casey never spoke about. On June 16, 2008, after Caylee died, Casey did what she's been doing all her life. Hiding her feelings.
No.
Going into that
God
dark
damn it.
corner and pretending that she does not live in the situation that she's living in. This family.
Such a bad time for that emote to come on screen.
And it all began when Casey was 8 years old and her father came into her room and began to touch her inappropriately. This child,
What?
at 8 years old, learned
Oh, God damn it, Ishmael.
she could be 13 years old, have her father's penis in her mouth, and then go to school and play with the other kids as if nothing ever happened. That will help you understand why no one knew that her child was dead.
What?
The trial would go on to last 6 weeks, with the prosecution exposing
What?
the truly dark and deceptive nature of Casey's
Dude.
character. While the state relied on fact, the defense clung on to theory and proposed every conspiracy under the sun in the hope they would create enough skepticism and confusion. One of the more noted details of the trial was the courtroom presence of Jose Baez. He had an exceptional ability of narrative control and storytelling, and his capacity to create a connection with a jury seemed far more adequate
This
than that of the
fucking
state.
guy.
This was recognized and mentioned multiple times in the media, yet the overwhelming majority
He's trying
of
his
those
best,
following
yeah,
the case
he really
were
is.
almost
I mean, he's
certain that
doing
it
his
wouldn't
job.
be enough to save the defendant. Closing arguments were put forward on
Doing his
Sunday,
job.
the 3rd of July.
When you have a child, that child becomes your life. This case is
The more info we
about
get about the case, the more
clash
confused I
between
become, which is
that
what the defense
responsibility and the
used in their
expectations that go with it,
case.
and the life that Casey Anthony
But this
wanted
is
to
so
have.
true. Like,
Casey meets Tony. Tony has this life. He's free. He's a club promoter.
just confuse the judge and jury. Yeah.
He's out there at night.
Because in a court case, guys, I don't know how many of you know this, but to get a guilty verdict in the US, the jury need to convict you beyond reasonable doubt, which means that no one in the jury can have any doubt about the judgment. You're innocent until proven guilty, right? And the jury decide on that guilt. Beyond reasonable doubt, no one can doubt it. So the defense's job is to use confusion and all that shit to make at least one of the jurors unsure. That's what they're trying to do.
Loud music and dancing, and it's a great free life. So she has a choice.
Exactly, huh? She wanted to have a free life with this new boyfriend. That's what I thought.
Child, or a life free to be 22. And as hard as it is for anyone to imagine, she had to choose between sacrificing two things. The first was her dreams and the life she wanted. And the second was her child.
Just give your daughter up for
Submit to you
adoption or
the
something.
evidence in
Give it
this
to
case
the
shows
grandparents.
That the choice she made was her child.
Yeah, no, exactly, Pratt.
Here we are at the end
Yeah.
of our
No,
journey.
very true, very true. He's just doing his job. He's just doing his job.
I have to tell you that I probably think you have more questions than you have answers. And if you recall
at opening statements, the final thing that I told you, at the end of
This
the
guy
day,
is very good at storytelling. You can tell.
the one question will never be answered. The key question in this case will never be answered. It can never be proven. And that is, how did Caylee die? I'm going to start with my biggest fear. I'm going to tell you right up front what
I mean, yeah, it can't be answered, but I mean, the evidence implies a very clear
why I feel that this case
way.
deals with so much emotion. I know that there
It
were
does, which is
times
what he's trying to
where
capitalize
every
on.
single person in here felt something deep down inside. Your rules of
This
deliberation,
is so nuts.
what the law is that this case must not be decided for or against anyone because you feel sorry for anyone or are angry at anyone.
What I find crazy about this is like these slides that you would use in a case, generally you would use these slides for like hard proof, hard evidence, showing maps, showing like all this stuff. The defense, they're just putting fucking words on a board and trying to like make it emotional.
You'll notice that Mr. Baez locks the jury's focus on this while subtly concealing this. He presents the argument that the prosecution has purposely got the jury emotionally invested in the case in the hope it would push them towards a guilty verdict. Yet in this exact same statement,
Damn.
he himself is getting them emotionally invested for the exact opposite reason. While repeating
Fucking
the
hell.
prosecution's supposed attempt to entice anger, he subtly attempts to evoke empathy. Say what you want about this attorney and the ethics of his conduct, but what you are about to witness is expertly done, and what many believe to be what saved Caylee Anthony's life.
And that's because, obviously, we want you to base your verdict on the evidence, not on emotion. And it's my biggest fear.
Damn, so
because
he's
it's such a
using
difficult
emotion
thing
and
for you
he's
to push
trying to
aside.
frame it that the prosecution is trying to use emotion, but actually they are. Prosecution is using facts. Crazy.
There's no doubt about it, and that is not disputed by anyone.
God damn. The best manipulator in this entire video is this lawyer.
Would be improper.
That's
It's improper
crazy,
under the
compa.
law, and it's improper as to the rules of your deliberation. He went on for a great length of time talking about this beautiful child, not on his evidence, not on the evidence.
So the
that was
one
presented
time the
before.
prosecution
It was to set
goes
up
for
the
emotion, the defense is like,
what was to come.
got him. Let's use that.
And that is
Crazy.
exactly how this case was presented. They didn't come right out the gate and show you the evidence. They gave you 2 weeks of testimony that was completely irrelevant.
Oh my god. This guy is
That was to
actually
put
like,
Caylee Anthony
this guy is actually so good at his job.
as a party girl,
Wow.
as a girl who lies.
It's just so fucked up that he's so good at his job for
nothing
this
to do with
person.
How Caylee died. And this prosecution was geared in such a manner that it was deliberate, it was methodical, it was thorough, and it was detailed.
Mr. Baez then focuses on the fact that the state has the burden of proof, and thereafter continues to intertwine the two essential features of his argument, empathy and doubt.
Don't speculate.
God damn.
Don't guess. It has to be proven to you beyond
He's
and to
li-
the exclusion of every reasonable doubt.
There you go.
If you don't know what happened,
That's it, beyond reasonable doubt. And he's
it wasn't
targeting it.
proven. We don't want you to tell us what you think happened. We want you to tell us what was proven happened. And that's the difference here. Because you know what? We can go on and speculate all day long as to the different theories that were posed before you, as to the different
Oh
possibilities.
my god.
But the truth of the matter is it
It's
must be
crazy how he's like, how he spins
There are no
that.
mysteries to solve here.
Crazy.
There should be no mystery before you right now. If you have questions, then it was not proven. And that's as simple as it goes. Now, back to what I was saying with their initial setup, the way the case was presented, the first couple of weeks.
Yeah,
You see, the
they presented
strategy
it with
behind
facts.
that is if you hate her, if you think she's a lying, no good slut,
Oh my god.
then you'll start to look at this evidence in a different light. You'll start to.
Oh my
wait a minute.
god.
Maybe
He
I'm
is
seeing something that's
you
not there.
he is tying emotion
Start
to
actually
the
discriminate
evidence and
against her, rather than
facts.
give her the standard that
Damn,
is
that's
afforded to
next
each and every
level.
citizen in our and that is that the state
That is
the government
actually
come in
next
here and
level,
prove
bro.
their case beyond and to the exclusion of every reasonable doubt. But you can get away with that if we can get a jury to hate her. But you're here
God
to
damn.
fulfill an oath.
This guy earns his paycheck.
You've labored tremendously over this journey. And we're going to ask you to render a verdict of not guilty on these charges because they simply were not proven.
Wow.
And they're simply not true.
For the 9th Judicial Circuit
What a piece
in
of shit.
Orange County, Florida.
All right, what did they vote?
State of Florida versus Caylee Marie Anthony. As to case number 2008 CF 15606-0. As to the charge of first-degree murder, verdict as to count 1. We, the jury, find the defendant not guilty. So
Not-
say we all, dated at Orlando,
Not
Orange
guilty?
County, Florida, on this 5th day of July, 2011, signed 4-person.
Wait, did they... they mentioned something about that Kumpai, but I didn't really register that. So did the dad sexually harass her? Was that true? Not guilty?
As to the charge of aggravated child abuse, verdict as to count 2. We, the jury, find the defendant not guilty.
Not-
Say we all, did it at Orlando, Orange County, Florida, this 5th day of July, 2011, signed 4-person. As to the charge of aggravated manslaughter of a child, verdict as to count 3. We, the jury, find the defendant not guilty.
Not
So say we all, dated at Orlando, Orange County, Florida, this 5th day of July, 2011, signed 4-person. And juror number 12, please your turn for verdict. Yes, thank you.
Okay. Will counsel and the defendant approach the podium?
Well, I hope that this is a lesson to those of you who have indulged in media assassination for 3 years, bias and prejudice and incompetent talking heads.
This is the
saying what would
worst.
be and how to be.
Worse than NTR.
I'm disgusted by some of the lawyers that have done this, and I can tell you that my colleagues from coast to coast and border to border have condemned this whole process of lawyers getting on television and talking about cases that they don't know a damn thing about.
Yeah, it was
Have
bad
the
timing,
experience to
Kumpai.
back up their words or the law to do it. Now you've learned a lesson, and we appreciate the jury. Those of you that have been objective and professional, we like it. Others, we're going to be talking to again. Thank you very much.
Casey did not murder Caylee. It's that simple.
What? After all that? Dude, okay, so death, pretty much all the evidence showed that she did. There was so much evidence that showed that she did. The biggest thing for me is the search history. That, like, implicates her so much. I feel bad for Caylee. Me too. What the fuck?
Today, our system of justice has
They
not
did
dishonored
find the
her
body,
memory.
yes. They found it in a swamp. And it was skeletal
false
remains. Imagine being that good at your job. Oh my God. What did we just watch? They found the body, the search history, the smell of the car. She was convicted, not... What? And the car smell. Guys, I cannot believe that verdict. I am shook. Me right now. I mean, holy shit, guys. She got away even with the justice system. I am so fucking shocked.